black and brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. Name is Fight Dog for this chill. Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can. You're on point tip.
All the time, Fife.
You're on point tip.
A Tribe Called Quest was one of the most legendary hip-hop groups of all time. Their music was fresh, creative, and way ahead of its time. They mixed jazz with rap, brought real storytelling to hip-hop, and changed the game forever with hits like Check the Rhyme, Bonita Applebum, and Can I Kick It? But behind all the greatness, there was drama, a lot of it. Ego, creative differences, and even health issues tore this group apart. And in the end, it wasn't just one thing that broke them. It was years of problems stacking up until they just couldn't take it anymore. So how did a group that seemed like brothers end up falling apart? Let's get into the tea. Back in the mid-'80s, two childhood best friends, Q-Tip and Phife Dawg, decided to start making music together. They grew up in St. Albans, Queens, and had been tight since elementary school. Q-Tip was already building a name for himself as a battle rapper, calling himself MC Lovechild, while his high school buddy, Ali Shaheed Muhammad, was getting serious about DJing. The two of them started experimenting with beats and recording little demos in 1985. Here's the funny part. Phife wasn't even all that into rapping at first. He would jump in here and there just for fun, but he wasn't really taking it seriously. Though Q-Tip kept pushing him, and thank God for that, because can you even imagine Tribe without Phife's voice? No way. And then there was Jarobi White, the last piece of the puzzle. He wasn't even a rapper, but he brought a different energy to the group, and that was just as valuable. They went through a couple of different names. First, they called themselves Crush Connection, which, let's be honest, sounds more like a corny 90s boy band than one of the greatest rap groups ever. Then they just went by Quest. But in 1988, fate stepped in. The Jungle Brothers, who were coming up around the same time, jokingly called them A Tribe Called Quest. And for some reason, the name just stuck. And honestly, can you imagine them being called anything else? By the late 80s, they linked up with the Native Tongues Collective, a group of artists including De La Soul and Jungle Brothers, who were pushing hip-hop in a new creative direction. Tribe wasn't about gangster rap or flashy lifestyles. They were about smooth beats, deep lyrics, and a vibe that made them stand out. And trust me, when they dropped their first album, People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm in 1990, the industry took notice. It had hits like Pushin' Along, Can I Kick It, and Luck of Lucian. Critics loved them, and hip-hop heads could tell they were onto something different. But right after their debut, the group went through a big change. Jarobi White left in 1991 to chase a different passion, culinary arts. While he had been a key part of their early days, his departure turned A Tribe Called Quest into a trio, leaving Q-Tip, Phife Dawg, and Ali to carry the group forward. Imagine starting something huge with your friends, only for one of them to say, "Nah, I think I want to be a chef instead." Wild, right? That didn't slow them down, and they released their second album, The Low End Theory. This album was a masterpiece that made them icons. It had hits like Jazz We've Got, Scenario, and Check the Rhyme. It was jazz, it was hip-hop, it was pure magic. And it was the first time Phife Dawg stepped up as a rapper. Before that, Q-Tip had been the main voice. But now Phife came in strong with lines that made the album unforgettable, and people felt it. When the album dropped, it debuted at number 45 on the Billboard 200 and climbed up to number 13 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. It didn't just get love from fans, it was a commercial success too. By February 1992, it was certified gold after selling 500,000 copies, and by 1995, it had officially gone platinum, hitting the 1 million mark. A classic in every sense of the word. But success came with drama. A line in Jazz We've Got sparked a beef with the group Rex and Effect, who took it as a diss. Things got serious when Q-Tip was attacked on the street, leaving him with a black eye and retinal damage. Phife later clarified it wasn't meant as an insult, but the damage was already done. Imagine catching hands over a single lyric. Hip-hop beefs were different back then. By the time their third album, Midnight Marauders, came out in 1993, Tribe was at the top. The album had songs like Award Tour and Electric Relaxation. They were making hits, touring the world, and getting the love they deserved. The chemistry between Q-Tip and Phife was golden. But the thing about success, it changes people. And behind the scenes, cracks were already starting to show. One of the first big signs of trouble was Q-Tip's decision to convert to Islam. Now, don't get it twisted. This wasn't a bad thing, but it did change the dynamic within the group. He became more serious, more focused, and started seeing things differently. Meanwhile, Phife felt like he was being left behind. By the mid-90s, things got worse. They dropped Beats, Rhymes, and Life in 1996, and while it was still a good album, something felt off. Phife wasn't as involved, the energy wasn't the same, and behind the scenes, things were getting tense. Q-Tip had brought in Jay Dilla as a producer and Consequence as a group member, which gave their music a different feel. But it also made Phife feel even more out of place. It's like when your best friend gets a new best friend and suddenly you're the third wheel. Then there were the missed studio sessions. Phife was living in Atlanta while Q-Tip and Ali were in New York, which made recording a nightmare. Flights were missed, sessions were canceled, and the whole process became frustrating. At this point, Phife wasn't just feeling left out, he was straight up done with the group. By the time they dropped the Love Movement in 1998, Tribe wasn't really a group anymore. The love was gone. The music was good, but the bond that made them special was broken. And just before the album even hit the shelves, they announced they were done. That should have been the end, but of course, hip-hop groups never really break up for good. Over the years, there were reunion tours, quick performances here and there, and even talks of a new album. But things were never the same. Phife's struggle with diabetes also made touring difficult. Then, in 2016, something unexpected happened. Tribe secretly reunited to work on a new album. They put their differences aside, got back in the studio, and started creating magic again. But just when things were looking up, tragedy struck. On March 22, 2016, Phife Dawg passed away from complications due to diabetes. He was only 45. It was heartbreaking. The group was in the middle of recording, and now one of their voices was gone forever. But instead of stopping, they finished the album as a tribute to him. The album, We Got It From Here, Thank You For Your Service, was released later that year. And let me tell you, it was incredible. It had that old school Tribe sound, but it also felt fresh and new with vibes like The Space Program and We Are the People. Fans loved it, but it was bittersweet. Phife was gone, and without him, the group just didn't feel complete. After that, they did a few performances, including a tribute at the Grammys. But Q-Tip made it clear this was the last time. The Tribe was officially over. And honestly, could there be a Tribe Called Quest without Phife? I don't think so. Phife Dawg's influence was so deep that the city of New York honored him by renaming a street in Queens as Malik Phife Dawg Taylor Way, forever cementing his legacy in hip-hop history. After everything, the remaining members of A Tribe Called Quest have been doing their own thing, and honestly, they've been thriving. Q-Tip? Oh, he's standing tall. The man stays busy, always cooking up something new. Back in 2020, he announced not one, not two, but 3 solo albums: Algorithms, Riot Diaries, and The Last Zulu. And knowing him, he's probably sitting on a vault of unreleased music too. He's still out here collaborating, experimenting, and pushing his sound in different directions, proving that his creativity just doesn't run out. With an estimated net worth of $6 million, he's managed to not only protect his legacy, but build on it with his solo career. Ali Shaheed Muhammad has been just as active, but in a more behind-the-scenes way. He teamed up with producer Adrian Young for some cool projects, including the Luke Cage TV series soundtrack and the Jazz is Dead album series, where he's worked with some legendary jazz musicians. Talk about a full circle moment. His net worth really isn't out there, but between his production work and constant collaborations, he's clearly still thriving in the industry. In 2024, A Tribe Called Quest was finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, stamping their legacy in hip-hop. So, why did A Tribe Called Quest end? It wasn't just one thing. It was a mix of personal differences, bad timing, and tragic loss. But no matter how it ended, one thing is clear. Nobody did it like them. They changed hip-hop forever, and their music still hits just as hard today. And let's be real, who wouldn't vibe to Can I Kick It? That song is timeless.